Once upon a time in the kingdom of Yu, there lived a man named Hou Yi. Now, unlike many other men, Hou Yi's prowess wasn't in swordsmanship or martial arts, nor was it in wealth or influence. No, Hou Yi's strength lay in his unwavering archery skills. His bows were legendary, his arrows never missed their mark, and tales of his feats echoed through the mountains and valleys. One day, while strolling through the forest, he came across a deer. It was no ordinary deer, mind you, but a celestial creature with fur like polished jade. As he watched, entranced by its ethereal beauty, 2 arrows pierced the air and landed gracefully on the deer's back. It turned, revealing a stunning woman with eyes like glistening stars and hair like flowing clouds. Startled, Hou Yi instinctively drew his bow, ready to defend himself against whoever had dared to disturb this mystical being. But instead of attacking, the woman spoke. "Hou Yi, your archery skills have reached the heavens. I am Change, the moon goddess, and I am impressed. How would you like to be my husband?" Taken aback by her unexpected proposal, Hou Yi hesitated. He knew the legends about the Moon Palace, a place of unimaginable splendor where the jade rabbit pounded the elixir of immortality, guarded by fierce toads and hares with iron clubs. To be the moon god's consort would mean leaving behind everything familiar, forsaking his old life for the unknown wonders of the moon. Despite the internal conflict raging within him, he knew his answer, thinking of his home, of the people he loved, of the warm embrace of the sun and the comforting feel of the earth beneath his feet. His heart ached with longing. He realized that his duty lay in protecting the world he knew, not in seeking immortality on the cold, distant moon. With newfound determination, Hou Yi replied, "Thank you for your kind offer, Chang'e, but my heart belongs to the world of mortals. Immortality on the moon holds no allure for me. When the warmth of the sun and the touch of the earth are what I cherish." Disappointment flickered across Chang'e's face, but she understood. "Very well," she said softly, "your choice is your own. But know this, if you ever change your mind, this arrow will always be waiting for you." She vanished along with her 2 celestial attendants, leaving behind only the wind whispering through the trees and the faint glow of the rising moon. As the days passed, Hou Yi continued honing his archery skills, training tirelessly to become even stronger, more adept at wielding his bow and arrow. Little did he know that his decision would soon be put to the ultimate test. One day, as he stood on top of Mount Kunlun, his gaze drifted to the heavens, noticing something unusual. There were 9 suns blazing in the sky instead of the usual one. What was strange was how they moved, all 9 suns racing across the heavens at once. At first, they seemed like ordinary suns, but as the hours passed, the earth began to tremble under their scorching heat. Fields withered, rivers evaporated, and the air grew thick with smoke. The great flood that had nourished the land for centuries now threatened to turn the earth into a barren wasteland. Fear gripped Hou Yi as he realized the gravity of the situation. 9 suns in the sky meant 9 times the heat, 9 times the destruction. If this continued, the earth might become a lifeless ember, devoid of all life. Summoned by the Jade Emperor, Hou Yi learned of the catastrophe unfolding on Earth. In response, he presented Hou Yi with a magnificent bow made of the whiskers of a heavenly tiger and arrows with the speed of shooting stars. "Use these, mighty archer," boomed the Jade Emperor, "and restore balance to the heavens." Accepting the celestial bow and arrows, Hou Yi bowed deeply, promising to fulfill the Emperor's wishes. Now, standing atop Kunlun Mountain, he raised his bow, aiming at the lead sun. Whoosh, the arrow sped forth, hitting the sun square in the center. It was as if someone had extinguished a candle flame, and darkness momentarily replaced the bright blaze. But then another sun took its place, racing across the sky with renewed vigor. However, Hou Yi was prepared. Again, he notched an arrow, this time aiming at the second sun. Whoosh, it too was struck, and with it, darkness enveloped the heavens once more. This continued until the 8th sun, each one meeting the same fate, crashing down into the vast expanse of the cosmos. Only one sun remained, basking in the emptiness it had inherited. At first, it seemed reluctant to move, hesitant to take over the role its fallen brothers had abandoned. But as the Jade Emperor watched, it began to stir, taking its place in the grand scheme of the heavens and illuminating the world below. As the last sun rose, bathing the earth in its golden glow, Hou Yi descended from Kunlun Mountain. On the ground, he was greeted by people emerging from their shelters, blinking in the unfamiliar sunlight. The world was quiet, still recovering from the trauma of the past days. Houses were burnt and crops were destroyed. But amidst the ruins, there was life. People, animals and plants were all slowly coming back. News of Hou Yi's bravery spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of the celestial emperor. He descended to earth, accompanied by his retinue of gods, to personally bestow Hou Yi with celestial garments, signifying his divine favor. And from that day forward, Hou Yi became a folk hero. His deeds recounted around campfires and woven into tapestries. His name became synonymous with bravery and skill. But Hou Yi, despite the adulation, remained humble. He continued living among the people, sharing his knowledge of hunting and farming, helping them rebuild their lives and recover from the devastation. He never forgot the feeling of helplessness he had experienced watching the 8 suns scorch the earth, and he dedicated his life to ensuring such horrors would never repeat themselves. So why is this story important? Why should you care about an old tale of a mythical archer? Well, because in this story lies a reflection of ourselves, a reminder of the challenges we face and the heroes we can become. Have you ever felt like the odds were stacked against you, that the path ahead was nothing but scorching heat and darkness? Well, that's where Hootsuite's story resonates with us. Just like Hootsuite, we often find ourselves in situations where it seems like every sun in the sky is against us. Challenges arise, casting their scorching heat upon our dreams and aspirations. We feel the weight of those expectations pressing down on us, threatening to overwhelm us with their intensity. Yet, like Hou Yi, we have the power to change the course of our lives. It's in those moments of adversity that our true strength emerges. But how do we wield that strength effectively? The answer lies in unity and preparation. Just as Hou Yi honed his archery skills, we, too, must sharpen our abilities, our knowledge, and most importantly, our hearts. Preparedness is the key that opens doors to opportunities, allowing us to navigate the complexities of life with greater ease. It's the difference between stumbling through challenges blindly and facing them head-on with confidence. But what about the times when we feel like giving up, when the burden of responsibility becomes too heavy to bear? That's where the true spirit of Hootsuite comes to the fore. It's the realization that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. Our choices determine whether a single sun will rise to nurture life, or whether multiple suns will burn everything to the ground. In essence, the story of Hou Yi teaches us that while one sun represents balance and life, multiple suns can signify chaos and destruction. The choice is ours to make. Will we allow our inner turmoil to consume us, leading to a scorching downfall, or will we unite with others? Stand united against the adversities that threaten to engulf us. It's a call to action, an invitation to become the heroes of our own stories, to step into the shoes of Hou Yi and confront the metaphorical suns that burn too brightly in our lives. Remember, we possess the strength to shape our destinies. All we need is a little courage, a lot of unity, and the wisdom to know when to let go of one sun and embrace the warmth of another.